Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of the best selling Fearless Tarot and the award winning Tarot in Love, Consulting the Cards and Matters of the Heart. Both books are from Llewellyn Books, and I do have some signed copies available on my website, ElliotOracle.com. And if you're interested in getting a signed copy, you might want to move fast on it because if you didn't know, I'm moving to England next month. And if you live in the United States and want this book shipped to you, it's going to be a lot cheaper for me to ship it from America than it will be from England. So get on that quick. It is time for this week's Oracle reveal. So, yesterday on my social media, I placed up a photo of three different animals and asked you to use your intuition and ask yourself which animal's calling to you because that animal has your message. And the three animals were the firefly, the koi fish, and the rabbit. So if you're just joining me now, ask yourself which animal seems to be calling to you because that animal has your message. And the animal deck is the Everyday Witches Familiar Oracle, which is out from Llewellyn by Deborah Blake, and Elisabeth Alba made wonderful artwork for each animal. So our first animal is the firefly. So if you chose the firefly, it's under the heading of the element of fire. But fireflies are just magical creatures if you ever see them while you're out. They look like fairies. And what they can indicate is that if you're attracted to the light of the firefly this week, you might need to allow your own light to shine. It might also be a time to start to believe in magic again, or to start to see the glimmer of hope, that little spark of light in the darkness of whatever you've been experiencing up until now. There's a major shift in the energy happening. First card for Firefly is where it's best to place your focus this next week, and we get the Ace of Pentacles. And all aces in the tarot for me are good to get. They're just like getting aces in a poker game. And in the case of the Ace of Pentacles, this is a card of new opportunities, wealth consciousness, and doorways of opportunity really opening for you. This could be a time to believe in some magic, especially where it concerns your career, your life's work, or your long term goals. And there's always that little gateway at the bottom of the Ace of Pentacles. And when you look through the gateway really carefully, you can see that mountain in the distance. And that mountain can indicate that there might be an obstacle on the pathway towards your success. And yet, if you can climb that mountain and stake your flag in the top of it, the Ace of Pentacles showers you with good fortune. This is a time to be tenacious and to really stay focused on your goal and to go for it and not talk yourself out of your best opportunities just because something appears to be hard. So I just feel like this is a good time for you to get psyched up, get excited about this new burst of energy that's coming your way because there's this magical energy that's definitely flowing around you. Next is going to be advice from your inner wisdom. And appropriately, we get the Two of Wands, which for me is a card of ambition. You can see on the Two of Wands a man who's a lord of a manor. He's got a great view and a castle. He's got everything we'd think he'd want, and yet he's holding the globe. He's holding the world. So the Two of Wands indicates a sense of yearning. Sometimes it's an ambitious card. It says it's time to level up. It's time to go out into the world and create some success for yourself. Two of Wands can also just indicate that it's time to grow or stretch into a new role. Wands in the tarot, they're like tree branches. They got little leaves springing out of the top of them. And a lot of times they represent growth and sometimes even growing pains, stretching yourself beyond what was comfortable before. And I just kind of feel like there's a new opportunity opening up for you. You've been looking outward toward this thing for a long time. And now what's needed is action. And I just kind of feel like this is going to be a time where there's this, surge of fire energy where you're really trying to make this happen. And then finally, we got the mythic archetype that's going to help you. And that is from the Oracle of Celestial Deities by Latao Wang. And this card is Eros, and his card says desire, playfulness, and the wish to connect. Eros is the god of love in ancient Greek mythology, and he can indicate passion as well. And when I couple that symbol of Eros with these two opportunity cards, it's like saying it's time to follow your passion. You only get one lifetime where you're in the current form you're enjoying right now or not enjoying. And the meaning of Eros for me is that why wouldn't you make this lifetime the best possible lifetime it could be? Why wouldn't you go toward the thing that you feel most passionate about? Why wouldn't you allow yourself that joy? And even if it is difficult, even if you do have to try hard, even if you have to risk something, or maybe even fail or learn through a mistake or two, that Eros card is saying to not let that flame of your passion die out. I just feel like this is a time to remake yourself based on your opportunities, based on the thing that's right in front of you. So follow your bliss, as Joseph Campbell would say. Follow your passion and don't turn away from it, no matter what anyone says. Next, we're going to go into the koi fish, and this is a water card. And koi fish are also associated with abundance and plenty. You think of schools of fish, and so there can just be a lot of a sense of abundance and prosperity, wealth energy, and also fluidity. First card for koi fish is where is it best for you to place your focus? And appropriately, with that element of water that the koi fish swims through, on the Six of Swords, we see the refugees. They're in the boat. They're leaving the rough waters behind and they're sailing toward the smooth waters. And this indicates a time of transition. For me, there's lots of change cards on the tarot, and some of them can be quite dramatic, challenging, like the Tower, the Death card. But for me, the Six of Swords is the benevolent change card in the tarot. It's as easy as getting in the boat and trusting where the current of your life seems to be flowing at this time. I feel the word surrender when I look at this card. And so I just feel like you want to let go. You want to go with the flow. And that element of water, boy, is that important for you if you're picking the koi fish. Like that element of water, you want to choose the smoothest course. You want to follow the natural current. You don't want to reinvent something and fight against it or force a pathway. When water by gravity is just finding its way through landscapes, it chooses the simplest way to get there. And so, too, for you, it's like keep it simple and just allow yourself to go with the flow. Six of Swords is long associated with moving, change, sometimes even travel. And so, there's a lot of magic around those themes for you. The next card is going to be advice from your inner wisdom this next week if you pick the koi fish, and we got the Wheel of Fortune, which intuitively I'm feeling just indicates that this is a really lucky time for you. The lucky fish is smiling at you. Wheel of Fortune can indicate times where there's a change in circumstances. Everything looked like it was going south and terribly, and then suddenly all things turn around and there's a new opportunity. Wheel of Fortune's kind of random. It can indicate that although you're very lucky, you don't want to overly rely on luck. And yet, you also want to enjoy it when it does arrive. I feel like chance is working in your favor. And there's movement with both of these cards, the wheel turning, the Six of Swords with the boat flowing. I just feel like there's movement, progress. You're advancing. Something that has been stuck is now unstuck, and you're going to start to see things flow. And then the mythic archetype that's going to help you appropriately is Neptune, dream, illusion, and the wish to flow. So, how cool is that? Neptune is the god of the sea, a god of the waters. He's also a very psychic, astrological planet. So, he can indicate using your intuition, really going with that flow. There's something mystical almost happening in your life right now. Serendipitous. Things are all aligning for you. And again, following that element of water, boy, is that going to be important for you, especially with that Neptune confirmation. So I just feel like you need to trust where your spirit seems to be guiding you. And again, just align with that element of water. It will not fail you this next week. And then finally, we have the rabbit, and that's an earth element animal from this deck. And sometimes for me, the rabbit can signify anxiety, nervous energy. But in this case, I just feel fertility. Rabbits are long associated with spring, like the Easter bunny and Yostre, the goddess of Easter. There is just this sense that it's so important that you're realizing that things are becoming more abundant for you. Also, rabbits are very amorous, romantic, passionate as well, much like that Eros card. I know that's for another animal archetype, but there is this sense of passion when we do see rabbit. And yet the anxiety remains. And rabbit can just tell us that, yeah, all of us experience some anxiety to some degree or another. But you can't let that debilitate you. You can't let the anxiety, the fear of something, squelch your passion, squelch what you feel is growing, that's fertile in your life. You want to give yourself to it. First card for rabbit is where is it best to place your focus? And look at how appropriate that is. Now, I have to full disclaimer tell you, I find out about these cards with all of you. I don't look at them before I start to read them. It kind of messes me up otherwise. But here's that whole fertility aspect of the Empress. So we got Mother Nature herself on this card. And the Empress for me is the mother goddess. She is Yostrea or Ostara. She is the goddess who whispers in your ear, all is going to be well because everything in my garden is growing in its appropriate time. Things are coming into blossom for you, rabbit. This is going to be at a time of abundance. There's something uplifting coming. I just feel for all three animals, there's this element of hope. There's this element of things really turning around. And so I just feel like you need to put some steel in your spine and be courageous and muster your courage as you're going through this next time period. But the Empress is saying everything's starting to flow. Wear the crown of 12 stars, much like the Empress, and look at things from the higher vantage point in their proper perspective. And I feel like all will flow to you just as it should. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you pick the rabbit, is the Four of Cups. And on this card, we see a man who's, kind of closed off. His posture is closed. His arms are crossed. His legs are crossed. He's worried about his problems. He's thinking about the future. He's worried about the past. And he's out of his power. And why is that? He's out of his power because he's not present. And the present is where the power is found for all of us. It isn't in some far off future when we finally get our goal. It isn't in a past version of ourselves that we romanticize and think was better than it was, even though we didn't have all the wisdom that we do now. Four of Cups is telling you to stop and look around you right now. Wake up. Wake up and look around you because you have choices right now. And I just feel like everything's growing to your benefit right now. There is a hand coming out of a cloud offering you a golden cup, and you need to see it and seize it and take it and accept it. These are gift cards, and I just feel like you need to take the gift. So, the meaning of the Four of Cups is to accept the good that's being offered to you right now. And the only way you can accept it is if you're present enough to see it. Get out of your head, get out of the past, and get the heck out of the future. The Empress is telling you that the bread's baking in the oven and it's going to be done when it's done. So stay focused on now. And then the mythic archetype that's going to help you, cool, Venus. Her card says beauty, value, and the wish to love. And how appropriate, again, Venus, the goddess of love and fertility for that rabbit symbolism. And then the Empress here, she's got the symbol of Venus emblazoned on the heart-shaped shield at her feet. There is a clear sign I'm getting that Venus, Aphrodite, is offering you a gift. She's offering you a golden cup, and you need to accept it. You need to take it. You need to open up your heart to it. The gods are working around you, the goddess especially. And I just feel like there's something magically fertile, growing, full of plenitude, and all is going to go in your best favor. But you need to accept it. You need to say yes to it. You need to recognize it, acknowledge it, and affirm it with that Four of Cups. And that is this week's Oracle. Kind of cool energy flow coming up this week. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can always check me out at elliotoracle.com and schedule a one-on-one session with me there. I am moving to Bath, England this next month for my husband's school. I'm super excited about that. It's an ancient Roman city, but I will still be available for online readings through Zoom. So don't think you're going to get rid of me that easily. Also, my books are available on my website. I have a ton of free content. And for all my YouTube viewers out there, thank you so much for helping my channel grow so beautifully. If you found this video useful, please do like, share, subscribe it, and also bring it to a friend if they're interested in tarot. I hope you have a wonderful week, whatever you're doing, and do take care because I'll see you again next time. So, see you then.